Hey, here we are with some more history, and by request, today we're going to talk about the Hopewell Frog War. So, over here you can see the tracks of the trees. This is the current CSX active track. We're in a location just a little bit to the west of Hopewell, New Jersey. So, Hopewell Frog War. First of all, let's talk about what's a frog. You know, people don't know what that's about. I get asked all the time. So, it's a fitting on the tracks that allow for one track to cross it at grade. It's got little divots for the sides of the rail car wheels to fit across without causing any derailments, and the fitting is believed to have been called that because it looks kind of like a splaying frog if you look at it from a distance, and I'll bet the older ones probably looked even more like it. But anyway, look over here. This is the Mercer and Somerset Railroad bed. I've had people argue with me where this is. It's pretty irrefutable that this is a railroad cut over here. So, going out over this way is a lot of modern roads in the town of Hopewell that are built on top of it. Mercer and Somerset goes this way. So this line arrived here first. It was built in a haphazard fashion, specifically to block the National Railroad from ever being constructed through the site. Some of the fill over there is a little bit filled in, so you wouldn't, or the cut was a little bit filled in, so you wouldn't quite know it. But anyway, so that was built in 1874 in somewhat haphazard conditions, frantically in order to stop the National Railroad from being built, which became part of the Philadelphia and Reading system. Materialized first as the Delaware and Bound Brook Railroad, again, down here to our right. And so it was kind of poor grading, a lot of issues, but they built it, and it connected from Somerset Junction on the Belvidere Delaware Railroad, which was controlled by the Pennsylvania Railroad, all the way up to Millstone and an existing Pennsylvania Railroad branch. So they built it, it connected through. Some people will argue with me that it ever connected through, but we'll get back to that in a moment. So they built the National Railroad anyway. Delaware and Bound Brook was built through in 1876, but in January of 1876, just up ahead over here, they had what they called the Frog War, where the Mercer and Somerset, which was controlled by the Pennsylvania Railroad, funded by the Pennsylvania Railroad, which was a competitor to the Philadelphia and Reading, parked their engine up on the tracks and tried to block the train from passing on the Delaware and Bound Brook. So apparently Mercer and Somerset started the battle, and then Delaware and Bound Brook was insistent that they were going to continue through. They disabled the Mercer and Somerset engine, and then had their own come through and block the tracks. Mercer and Somerset sent a train from the New Brunswick area, I think it was. They were going to run through it, and so tensions grew. I guess there was some kind of a conflict, and then the governor had to get involved, and by the next day, the Delaware and Bound Brook was allowed to pass through. So with better grading on this line, they came out the victor, and by 1880, the Mercer and Somerset was no more, abandoned and scrapped. So this was where this all happened. One of the things that makes this hard to see is that the former Delaware and Bound Brook, after the Philadelphia and Reading took it over, ended up doing some major regrading. It went up to as much as 4 tracks wide, so the exact site of the Frog War has been destroyed. You've also got stuff like this major wash here, which has clearly been trenched down a bit to control the situation. But the original Mercer and Somerset was probably filled over a little bit, but I think it came through right about in here. And if we go down into this gully over here, you can kind of see across these tracks that there's a bit of an opening over in there where it is felt that the Mercer and Somerset would have crossed. Now there is a little bit of grade over there too, that in the short distance you can see. There's also some stuff up here that could be grade, so it's possible that the original Delaware and Bound Brook was quite a bit higher than it was when it was first built here. So certainly it wouldn't have been down as low as it is right now. Right over in here is where it crossed. And that's that. Site of the Hopewell Frog War. So you can start to see the disturbances where the other line came in over here in the grade of the ground. But some very interesting history. This line is still very active today. Very fast moving trains. Don't recommend milling about around them. And that's about it. So thanks again for watching. Till next time.